Welcome to the Veterans Archives podcast, where we honor our nation's veterans by preserving and sharing their stories. You can also hear Veterans Archives on Wreaths Across America Radio every Thursday at 5 p.m. To learn more about our mission, watch veteran interviews, or find out how to record a veteran story, please visit veteransarchives.org. And if you or a veteran you know needs support or resources, we encourage you to download the Battle Buddy app from vetlifetoday.org. Today is Wednesday, August 5th, 2026. We're talking with Adam Buck, who served in the United States Navy. So good afternoon, Adam.
Good afternoon.
It's almost evening, and I'm going to just full disclosure to everyone, we're doing this again because I forgot to hit record. So I apologize.
It happens.
It does. Anyway, so here we are, just sort of north of Grand Rapids right now, right?
We're at west.
Yeah. West of Grand Rapids. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start out with the very first question again. When and where were you born?
I was born July 10th, 1973 in Grand Rapids, Michigan at Blodgett Hospital.
Okay. Yep. And as we said before, you grew up in Comstock?
Comstock Park.
Okay.
Yep. I think we moved there when I was 4.
Okay.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about Comstock Park.
Small little town.
Yeah.
We had one stoplight in the town. I think there was 3 schools.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to high school, but it was 7 through 12 in one school, and we had about 1,200 students, kindergarten through 12.
So, wow, for like the whole school district.
The whole school district. It was tiny.
Yeah,
yep.
That is. And then brothers and sisters.
I have an older brother named Tony and a younger sister named Becky.
Okay.
Yep.
Middle kid?
Middle child.
Yeah. And you lived up to the middle child expectations then?
Well, according to my mother, I did, yeah.
Right? I'm a middle child myself, so I know all of that peacemaker, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's true. But that's what they say anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what was it like growing up in Comstock Park, and what was it like being a kid there?
Oh, well, it was fun. Everybody knew everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of kids in our neighborhood, so all my friends lived close by, ride bikes everywhere. Like we had said before, Mom kicks you out of the house and tells you to come back when the street lights are on.
Yeah, I actually had friends whose parents locked them out of the house in the summer.
I could believe that.
Yeah. Slide a sandwich out at lunchtime or whatever. They'd be done.
Yep.
Yeah.
No helmets when we ride bikes.
Yeah. And you're no worse for the wear, right?
No.
Yeah. I feel like if I got hurt, my mom would be like, "Oh, just drink some water, rub some dirt on it."
Yeah, rub some dirt in it. It'll be okay.
Yeah. I remember that. Yep. So talk to me a little about school. Like, what was grade school like?
I went to when I was really young, I went to a Catholic school for a while,
mm-hmm.
and then I got into the public school later on. But otherwise, yeah, it was fun. I started going to school with all the kids that I grew up around.
Yeah,
because when I went to the Catholic school, nobody else was there. Whole different group of friends.
Must have been kind of lonely.
Yeah, different group of friends in different areas.
Yeah.
But then I started going to public school, and all the kids that I went to, that were in the neighborhood were there. So
mm-hmm.
It was fun. Get to make new friends and all that stuff like that. So
yeah. Well, what kind of student were you?
Middle of the road, I guess. I think I was. Well, there was 88 kids in my class, and I think I was somewhere between 15 and 20,
mm-hmm.
Grade wise or GPA wise. But I was a good student. Didn't get in trouble.
Yeah,
I liked everybody. I had a lot of friends. Teachers were. I didn't have any really angry teachers.
That sounds like a good experience.
Yeah.
Did you have some favorite classes that you took?
Yeah, shop was my favorite. I took metals and woodworking from 7th grade to I graduated as a senior.
Mm-hmm.
Science classes are always fun. Math classes. I hated English or speech or any of that stuff. I did take accounting classes, so I got to learn that. So.
Yeah, how'd that go for you?
I liked the accounting teacher. He was really cool.
Uh-huh.
But he let us go on our own a lot of times. So when you got better at it, he'd give you the book and say, "If you have questions, come see me."
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Independent study in high school.
Yeah, it was basically kind of like that.
Yeah.
So
And what about sports? Sports teams?
I did. I bowled. I started bowling when I was 4. I still bowl now. And then I did track and field when I was a junior and senior.
Okay.
Through shot, put, and discus.
All right.
So I couldn't run.
What's your average in bowling, by the way?
Well, I've had it as high as 227, and I'm now right around 205 to 210.
Okay.
So I kind of fallen off a little bit, but it kind of happens when you get old.
No 300 games in there?
I have 8 300s that are sanctioned.
Wow.
And I have 4 800 series that are sanctioned. So
wow.
I don't want to tell you what my brother has. So.
Better than you?
He has 62 300s and 65 800s.
I can't even fathom that. It's like he's bowling a 300 every time he bowls almost.
And there was one year, a couple years ago, he started out the season, we bowl at Rockford together. The first 8 weeks of bowling, he had 7 800 series and 2 300s.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, he's one of the best in Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
I actually did when he was inducted into the USBC Hall of Fame for Grand Rapids, I did his induction speech for him. So he's
I used to watch the professional bowling on TV when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I always thought that was just fascinating.
Yeah. So did I. We grew up watching it every Saturday.
Oh, yeah. Those guys in their bell-bottom pants.
Oh, yeah.
Their fancy clothes.
Oh, yeah.
It was kind of crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
He did not go pro. He did. He was a regional pro for a couple of years, but then he decided it was just too much running around. He wanted to get married and have family. So
yeah,
he's just basically a local pro.
Local celebrity.
Yeah, you can't really walk into a bowling alley and people don't know who Tony Buck is. So.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So you're going through high school, and I'm only going to ask this question because I already know the answer. But did you meet anybody in high school that you liked?
I met my wife in high school.
Yeah,
we've been married for 32 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's my high school sweetheart.
That's awesome. And how did you pick her out of the crowd?
Well, funny story. We both were in track together when I was a junior, and I think she was a freshman. And she did high jump, and it was fun to watch.
You were a teen boy.
I was.
Yeah, absolutely.
I fell for her hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah. Yeah. So you joined the Navy. You go into the Navy after high school, but was the Navy something you were always going to do?
Yeah, actually, I joined the late entry program when I was a junior in high school. So there were some things I saw on TV that I just said I want to be part of that. I didn't want to go to college, so and the recruiter I had was really good. I didn't even consider any other services. I just went right into the Navy recruiting office over on Plainfield.
Yeah.
And they got me going on getting the ASVAB score. I got lucky. I took the ASVAB when I was a junior, so all that stuff was all fresh in my mind. And I ended up scoring like a 96 on that ASVAB score, which really helped me during boot camp and and all that stuff like that. So
did they want you to join the nuke program?
I took the test for the nuclear program. I did pass it by 1 point, but one of the recruiters that was at MEPS in Lansing kind of pulled me aside and said, "You don't want to do that." And I said, "Why is that?" He said, "Because you're going to go on mandatory self-study for 2 years." He says, "You need to get to be an FC." So
so you had a little bit inside scoop.
He said, so he kind of pointed me in that direction. So it was kind of, I got fortunate. So
yeah. So what was your senior year like for you then? Because I'm not applying to colleges. I don't have to worry about a job.
Right.
So how did that?
Well, it was eased my mind. I did a lot of the weekend training stuff with our recruiter and a couple of the guys out of the recruiting office, and they taught us, how to march, how to be in formation. Told us how things were going to happen in boot camp, what to expect, all that kind of stuff. So I did that for a year before I went in.
Yeah, you probably had more experience than most people going in, right? Like it's a whole year.
Yeah, a lot of that delayed entry program was really good. So and it counted for a year of your on your contract.
Right.
So it was the inactive reserves. So
Yeah.
the first year was,
Yeah, most people don't know it's an 8-year contract, no
Yeah.
matter how many years you actually serve.
8-year contract. And I did 6 years active duty and then 2 years inactive, but my first year was in high school.
Yeah,
So,
that's pretty awesome.
so yeah, it was nice.
So did you ship out like right after high school then?
I went to boot camp 2 days before my 18th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and the boot camp was 8 weeks. And then I went home for a couple weeks. I did some recruiting, went to some schools, and then went right back to Naval Training Center, Great Lakes, and went to fire control base or fire control A school.
Let's take a quick break.
Before we continue, we'd like to share a resource that may be helpful to veterans and their families. The Battle Buddy app from vetlifetoday.org is designed to connect veterans with support, resources, and a community that understands their experiences. If you or a veteran you know could benefit from those resources, we encourage you to download the Battle Buddy app and learn more at vetlifetoday.org. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about basic training. Like, so you had your birthday in basic training.
Yep.
They make a cake or anything for you?
No, I kept my mouth shut. They didn't even know.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you, because that would have been a whole different nightmare.
Oh yeah.
So talk to me a little bit though. You were pretty well prepared. You had a year of prep. So what was it like though, still stepping off that bus?
It was still a shock. I wasn't used to being yelled at like that.
Yeah.
And going into boot camp, and they said that they were going to break you down, and I didn't realize that it was going to be to the point where they had to teach you how to brush your teeth and comb your hair and shave and all that stuff like that. I had never shaved before.
Yeah.
So they forced me to shave, and so that was interesting. It was kind of I understood what they were doing,
Mm-hmm.
so it wasn't a shock to me because I was already expecting that kind of stuff. So I just kind of went along, and it's kind of like one of the recruiters said, it's kind of like a game. If you just play the game, you'll be fine. So I played the game, and it wasn't as bad as some people made it out. We had some guys that were really upset about they couldn't handle it or anything like that. It's really just a game. Once you're done, you're going to be at the same level. So,
Yeah. Well, what about the physical training? How was that?
well, I hated to run, but because we had my company commander was a marathon runner,
Mm-hmm.
and because he was CB construction. What is that? I don't.
Oh, construction battalion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was CB1 LaChance he was an electrician for the CBs,
Uh-huh.
and he liked to run marathons. So he wasn't big on all the push-ups and sit-ups and everything. We still had to do that for the PRTs, but his big thing was running. So everywhere we went, we ran as a company. And even if you hate running, when you're running with a group of people and you know that you'll get trampled on, if you,
Right.
you can keep up. So
Yeah. It's amazing what your body will do when your mind tells it to
right.
do, right?
An incentive in the back of it is also nice too.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
No.
So you finish up basic training, and then FCA school's like right there at
Yep.
Great Lakes, right?
Yep. Yeah, I went basically right across the street.
Yeah.
And my school started in December. I got to remember my dates because I reported there in September. I had a delay of about 2 months, 3 months, and then we started in December, and I graduated in September.
Okay.
So
Now, do they do like a Christmas break then?
I did a Christmas break,
Mm-hmm.
but it was before my school started. So I started school right after Christmas.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
Yeah.
That's a long wait time.
I was in the galley company for a while.
Yeah, you.
Well, yeah. So, but
Yeah. So what was A school like for you?
well, I didn't want them to fail, so I made sure I did everything I could to get in with a group of guys that did the studying,
Mm-hmm.
and we would go over in the evenings after class, and we'd set up whiteboards in a. They had the building was pretty much open all the time, so you could go in and you could go into a classroom or any of the classrooms that were open and set up a whiteboard or whatever, and they'd let you do studying. So we would do just go over everything that we were doing for the whole week. And so we were prepared for the test on that Friday. So
Yeah. It's a test every Friday too, isn't
every
it?
Friday.
Yeah.
Yep. So every week was a new test, a new chapter, And if you did well enough on the test, if you score above a 90 on the test, you got to go at lunch. You take the test in the morning, you get to go at lunch. If you score below a 90, then you have to stay for 3 hours after lunch.
So how'd it work out for you?
For the first 10 weeks, I never got below a 90. But then when we got into the Blue Book, there were a few weeks that I got into the 80s. So, but I was able to maintain a pretty good average. I ended up third or fourth in the class, somewhere around there. So it was good.
Nice.
So got to choose the orders that I wanted.
Yeah. So let's talk about that a little bit, because I know before we had talked, you were pretty specific about what you didn't want to do.
Yeah, I did not want to go to CWIS school because you'd have to stay in Great Lakes again. And I wanted to get out. I wanted to go to the fleet and see what was out there. So when the orders came up, the guy first in class took the CWIS school, one of them, and then the next guy took the USS Wasp out of California, and the Nimitz was available. So I chose the Nimitz out of Bremerton, Washington.
Okay. And so you decide, I'm going to skip C school and figure out what I want to do first.
Yep. They had said that, well, our one of our instructors had recommended that we do that because you get to see what's out there. You get to see what's available. And if you go to now, if I would have had a little different, if I would have gone to like an Aegis cruiser or a Spruance class, but I also really didn't want to be on a small ship. I wanted to be on a big one.
Yeah.
So, and when I got there, I got to see this. I got to work on CWIS. I got to work on NATO Sea Sparrow and Target Acquisition System, and so I ended up getting in the Target Acquisition System work center.
Okay.
Yeah. So
a lot of OJT then, with your time on the Nimitz.
Yeah, and I had two good mentors when I was on Petty Officer Villarreal and Petty Officer Bliss were the two guys that were NEC 1149s. And I became good friends with them, and they taught me a whole bunch of stuff. So I was well prepared.
I think it's kind of one of the cool things about the Navy that I noticed too, is that people really do kind of take you under their wing and want you to be successful.
Yeah. And yeah, they got me once they needed another tech when I got there. So they assigned me to that work center, and they had me doing maintenance the first few days I was there.
Wow.
Going through the PMS system.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. I got to watch the Petty Officer Bliss was second class, and so I got to watch him do the boards. The PMS boards and all that stuff like that. So I learned a lot. I mean, those guys were really good.
Yeah. Now, did you do any cruises, deployments?
Yep. Let's see. We deployed in December of '92. So, and then that was the WestPac. So we that was an experience. Leaving port in Bremerton takes a while because it's the Narrows, the Tacoma Narrows are, hard.
They're named Narrows for a reason, right?
Yeah. So the transit out, and I've never been on anything that big before, and standing in the middle of the flight deck and not being able to see the water on each side, going through those transiting through the straits there, and then coming out, that was an experience,
Yeah.
And all the boats that follow, and the captain yelling at people because you can't see them,
Right.
Harbor captains are like trying to keep boats away from coming alongside and stuff like that. But,
Yeah.
And then we transited down to San Diego to pick up the air wing. And we were there for a couple days. And then when we left San Diego, I got a chance that was exciting to see the first planes landing on the boat. I'd never seen anything like that before. And so I put on my double hearing protection and went up to the 011 level and started watching the planes coming in. I sat up there the whole day.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Nimitz holds 91 planes, I think it is. I watched almost all of them.
Wow. Now, where did you go on that cruise?
We transited the Pacific, went to Hong Kong for I think 6 or 7 days. Then we went to Singapore for a number of days. We did cross the equator when we rounded Thailand, but we didn't do the shellback initiation until we came out.
Okay.
We had more time. So we got into the Gulf, went through that was another interesting one, Straits of Hormuz going into the Gulf.
Yeah.
On condition 3 steamy, we were on watch 24/7. I learned a lot about that and how dangerous it is, what to look for.
Yeah.
Because our radar system was developed to actually find the Exocet missile, that pop-up missile that travels on the deck. So our system was built for that. So that was a big thing for us. And then, and we did 3 port visits on that tour to UAE. And then on the way back, we did our shellback initiation right before Thailand. We were supposed to go to Australia, but for some reason, the admiral decided it would be better to have 7 days in Thailand versus 4 days in Australia. I think the reason was because the seas were so high in Australia. It would be hard to get guys ashore.
Yeah.
So we went to Thailand where it was much calmer. So
I can't imagine a shellback initiation on an aircraft carrier. That's
huge.
That's wild.
And the funny thing was that the captain wasn't the most senior. He wasn't the most senior.
Oh.
The command master chief actually was the most senior shellback. He was a golden shellback.
Wow.
So I don't know where the captain was in that ranking, but he wasn't up there with a lot of those. We had a lot of salty dogs on our boat.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But we had a lot of pollywogs too, because over half the ship had to get cleansed.
Wow.
Yeah. They said there was at least 1 shellback per wog.
Yeah.
So
many people to torture so many people.
Yeah. I heard all the stories about the way it was back in the 70s.
Oh,
yes. It would take a week, or it was hazing all the time. Ours was I think it was 12 hours.
Yeah.
I didn't eat breakfast. I wore it. I wasn't going to eat it. Coffee grounds and syrup.
That's awful.
Oh, yeah.
That's awful.
I got to experience that whole thing, blowing water out of a pad eye for half an hour. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so you do your WestPac, then you come back to port. How much longer were you on the Nimitz at that point?
We got back in June, and I went home just before Christmas of '93. I don't remember. I had to report to Mare Island, California on January 1st.
Okay.
So I was home for 2 or 3 weeks, and then flew back to Seattle to pick up my truck, which I put in storage, and then I drove to California.
Okay, and you went to Mare Island for?
Target acquisition, Mark 23 target acquisition. Yep.
Okay, so basically what you've been working on the whole time.
Yep. So I had all the experience and had been through all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so how do you think that really helped you get through that school then?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, huge. Because I had already experienced replacing an antenna, a rotary coupler, all of the different types of errors that you could see. So going through the course, it helped me a lot. I still, again, I was in the top 3 of the class, so
yeah,
I got to choose my orders coming out of that too. So that was a lot of the guys had never had experience with it. They were the guys that had been to the fleet, but they were Sea Whiz, NATO Sea Sparrow.
Right. Yeah. So where'd you choose to go after that?
After that, well, one of my instructors had said that if you wanted to go to the East Coast, now would be the time. The only other ship that had TAS on it at the time was the Wasp, and the guy who was first in class took that one. So the other ships that had it, I didn't want a small boy, and then the third set was the Enterprise. So I took the Enterprise out of Norfolk, Virginia.
It's funny because when you say you don't want to be on a small ship, you pick the largest possible ship every time.
Yes. I did not want to be on a cork.
Kind of cracks me up.
So I heard a lot of horror stories about being on a small ship.
Yeah.
So a couple of couple of the instructors, I guess I was fortunate. They were all carrier fire controlmen. And they said, you got to get on a carrier. It's so much better. So the galley's open 23 hours a day.
There's something to be said for that, especially when you're underway. Like, there's nothing to do but like eat or sleep or stand watch.
Yeah, watch, maintenance, and eat.
Right, exactly.
You can sleep, but you don't get much of that. But So
did you go right from Mare Island to?
Well, I went home for 30 days, and I got married to my sweetie.
Yeah, your high school. You did the boot camp thing.
Yep.
Right. Married your high school sweetheart.
Yep. And then I had to be back to. I had to report to the Enterprise July.
Mm-hmm.
After July, I think it was July 5th or 6th now that I think about it, somewhere around there. So I drove to Virginia and checked in there and got established, went and found an apartment in Virginia Beach. And then I came back up for for Heidi's brother's wedding in August.
Mm-hmm.
And we packed up my truck with everything that we had, which wasn't a lot, and together we drove down to Virginia Beach and got all settled in at the apartment. So.
Two very young people, like that's got to be, I don't know, that's got to be some of your best memories.
Oh yeah, it was exciting and it was a little bit scary at the same time. Because I mean, we were newly married, traveling by ourselves.
Right.
No more parents, no more home. No more of that. We were on our own. So there's a lot of growing up that we did, and a lot of that. So
you're still pretty young at this point.
Oh yeah,
right. I mean, how old were you when?
I was 20. Yeah, I was 20, right? And Heidi was 19.
Wow.
Yeah.
The odds of that working out are not great.
Yeah.
Because I've watched them crash and burn, but
divorce rate was high in the Navy at that time. So.
Yeah. Well, you're gone a lot, right?
Yeah. We stuck together. Yeah. So
we got to find the right person, I think.
Yeah.
So talk to me about that time on the Nimitz. What was it like when you first got there?
So I'm
not the Nimitz, but the Enterprise.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
When I got to the Enterprise, it was in the yard periods. It was going through its 4-year overhaul.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got there, they were on 7-day-a-week work weeks because the crew they kind of sloughed off for the first 3 years or so.
Right.
And so now the shipbuilders are turning things over to the Navy, and we have to be there and be ready and do all that stuff. So the Enterprise got outfitted for Mark 23 for the TAS system. It never had it before.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a brand new system, and I was the first 1149 tech to be on the ship. So I was involved heavily in the turnover of the space and the radar, working with the Newport News and with all of the testing to get the system online with all the civilian contractors. So that was another good and great experience. So I got to see how all that stuff was put together, how it's tested.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was the one that got to sign over as they were turning stuff over. And here I am, 20 years old, 21 years old, and I'm putting my name and rank on an official form to take occupancy of a radar system.
Huge responsibility.
Yeah, it is pretty huge.
Yeah, and a lot of those guys too are former Navy, right? Like
yeah, a lot of them are.
They know the game.
Oh yeah. I can't remember his name, but I will never forget him. He was a 48 Echo or 48 Charlie tech.
Yeah.
And that was at the time when the 48 Charlie was part of the ETs.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they were fire control technicians that took care of it. So,
right.
Yeah. And he got out of the Navy and then came over and worked as a government, because he knew radar systems. And yeah.
Once you have that skill, you have that skill.
Yeah.
So how long were you in the yards before you got out of there?
I got there in July, and we left in November.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was it getting out of there? That's a big ship.
Yeah. Yeah, the Enterprise, it was there for so long that the ship actually sunk. So they pumped all the water out of it, but it took 9 tugboats to get it away from the pier. And that was my experience at seeing a line part. Because one of the tugboats got a line wrapped around the anchor, and it didn't realize it. And as it was pulling, we were up on the forward sponson, NATO Sea Sparrow, and we were watching that line, and you could hear it. And it's 6 1-inch wires or ropes, and it is bam, bam. It's like cannons going off.
Oh yeah, yeah. When people talk about like the rope snapping, I don't think they picture how large that thing is.
Right. Yeah.
And
You're talking a 6-inch line.
yeah, yeah, and when you're pulling in and out of port too, those things make a lot of noise anyway.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They creak and they snap and they pop and you know, and it brings you back to that stupid movie they showed you in boot camp, right?
Yeah. About, lines ripping people's legs off.
Yeah,
Scares you. It's scary, but yeah. We were far enough away we weren't going to get hit, but it's something you'll never forget.
Oh no,
never forget.
Nope. No. And I remember that they interviewed the one guy that lost his legs, right? And he talked about it. So
yeah,
that's all I could think about anytime we were doing line handling.
Yeah, I guess I was pretty fortunate on the aircraft carriers. Line handling was done by deck department and E3 and below. So
yeah,
as an E4, I didn't have to do any. Thankfully, I didn't have to do any supply details or any line handling or anything like that. Just basically, they stay in your, during underway replenishments and during, when they're mooring the ship, stay in your space and don't come out until they're done.
Right. Well, and you, when you came out, right, there was you had to test all the systems, right? But you did that, and then were you getting ready to deploy?
Yeah. As the Enterprise had lost all of its qualifications while sitting in the yard period, so it had to get all of that back. So it had to get battle ready. So when we got underway, it was all the reactor drilling, all the everything had to be tested from everything, you name it. And so all the systems had to be tested. So we were in and out all the time. In 1995 was the big year before our deployment. 17 days in port, and half of that time I was on duty. So my wife and I stuck together, and I only got to see her about half of that time in that year.
Man, that's rough.
It was rough. Yeah, it was rough. We were in and out, and our captain was we did all our carrier qualifications. We did all our engineering qualifications, and then we did all of the air wing qualifications for the John Stennis and the Kennedy to get their air wings ready for their deployments, because they were already battle ready. We had to get that, so we did those qualifications for 3 ships, ours and 2 other ones. So
that's busy.
It was very busy.
Yeah. So you do all of that, and then you deploy.
Yep. Do all that. We got a month in 96. In the 96, I think there was about a month before June where we were in port right before we went on deployment in June. Mm-hmm. So, yep.
And so what was your deployment like? Where did you go? Well,
we did, I got to transit it was an East Coast med cruise, so I got to transit Rock of Gibraltar.
Yep. Did you get your certificate, your Order of the Rock?
Yes, I got that. The only thing I did not get was, we didn't go far enough north to get my Blue Nose, so I didn't get that one. And so we transited that, and then we hit Palma, Spain, which was fun. That was neat. Never been to Spain before. That's just a little island, I guess, off the mainland. So I haven't been to the mainland. And then we went to Cannes, France, and made our way around the coast to Naples, Italy. Went around up into the Adriatic and went to Venice. We were only in Venice for two days, I think it was. And then we got called up to go to the Gulf on an emergency. So we lightened the load, and we transited through the Suez Canal, the Red Sea, Indian Ocean, and into the Persian Gulf in 4 days. We were moving.
That's lightning fast.
Yeah.
And if anyone's ever seen the size of one of these carriers, the hull number is like a tall building.
Right. Yeah. And most of the ships don't keep up with the aircraft carrier,
No.
but so we actually had on the transit down, we didn't have a plane guard a lot of times. They were trading it off because the battle group was spread out through the Gulf. So as we transited, we were switching plane guards as we go. And then there was a ship that started its transit through the Suez Canal prior to us, so that they were ahead of us. But they were just passing us off as we went through until we got to the Gulf.
Yeah. So what was duty like for you on board the ship?
Well, we worked a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of maintenance. And we did service basically for other departments. So we had it was called EMO, and they set up a little room where they would put a guy in there, ET or an FC or an I-seaman, and we would take calls if somebody needed help with something.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why we did all that, but so we would do testing for like electronic. If someone brought a radio or something on board, we would do all the verification and sign it and say they were good to go. So we did a lot of that, and the I-seamen worked out of there too, so they would take their service calls and stuff like that. So
okay,
because we had electronic background, so they figured everybody could be part of it. So
right, what is that? Many hands make for a light load, or some crap like that they taught us.
The interesting thing on the Enterprise, the 48 Echo was actually part of fire control. Those guys were part of ours, so they weren't in the ET department. We were OEM and they were OEE or something like that. So,
yeah. So how long were you in the Gulf then?
It was 3 months each deployment. We were in the first time. Well, the second one was 4 months because we got called over early. It was supposed to be 3, and so we were there a month early. We were actually on station with the Carl Vincent. We were their replacement. Well, we were there a month early, so we were side by side. So at that time, it was the first time they'd ever had two aircraft carriers in the Gulf at one time. At least that's what I was told.
That's a lot of firepower.
Yeah. And there was 180, 190 planes.
Yeah.
in that area. So it was a tight operating area because, you've been in the Gulf.
Yes.
Yeah. So you know those helicopters when they're not squawking any IFF and they're just flying really low from platform to platform. They're not talking to anybody or they don't even speak English.
Right.
So being in Combat Direction Center and watching the OSs and the surface warfare officer having to deal with that traffic, that's a stress level I didn't want.
Oh, no kidding.
So, I didn't have to talk to any of them, but I had to be ready, if they tell me what I had to do, because we were loaded, ready to go. All the missiles were there. They were all armed and ready to go. So
didn't have any engagements though.
No, I didn't have any. Luckily, we didn't have any engagements. We did have the Iraqis would like to. We were in support of Operation Southern Watch. So our air wings, the Iraqis at the time had gotten used to the timing of when one what did they call those? I can't remember what they called them, but the groups of planes that would fly, they would launch and then they would recover. So the groups would go out. There was always a time period from when the group was coming back to going out there, and the Iraqis would like to fly to the southern parallel or whatever it was and kind of skirt around. There was one time where an F-18 lit up an Iraqi plane, and that was it was an intense time.
Oh yeah.
I guess that guy got a little bit late, and then he crossed over the line before, there was one of our deployment, where they were in the air. So that was the only time that we ever really had an engagement like that.
Yeah.
We did watch there was a time where the Iranians were trying to launch a sub. I guess they had bought from somewhere. It sank, and it was on the bottom of the Gulf. And I guess we went to their aid and helped them get it brought up. But that was kind of a hush hush thing.
Right. Right. Got to be a good neighbor, I guess.
Yeah. So,
something like that.
Yeah.
So
it's a very intense atmosphere.
Yeah.
To be an operator in those areas. So.
Yeah. Did you have like a favorite, other than that portion of the cruise, right? You were stopping in different ports. Did you have like a favorite port that you liked, someplace that you liked more than others?
Oh, my favorite, on the West Coast, my favorite port was Singapore. I loved that place. It was very clean. People were really cool. And the thing I think I liked about Singapore the most was you could go to a central, they had an underground they had a train system that was, you could go anywhere in the country you wanted to go. And I mean, it's not a big country,
Right.
but you go anywhere you want from one location to and from, and it was really cool. But on the med cruise, Italy was probably my favorite place.
Mhm.
I loved Italy. It was so much history. The food was fantastic. People were cool. And then Israel.
Yeah.
Israel was fun. So I wish we had more time. We didn't have much time. We only spent, I think it was 4 days in Israel. So I did one tour.
Mm-hmm.
It was an 8-hour tour on a bus. That was a little scary.
Yeah.
Bus full of sailors traveling across Israel. But it was fair. It was exhilarating and a little frightening at times. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So you end that cruise, you come back. How much longer are you on the Enterprise for?
I think I was on a total of 3.5 years. So when we got back in December of 96, I spent another year and a half.
Okay.
Just doing in and out things,
Right.
training and stuff. We do training in Rosie Roads and do carrier calls. We were getting the ship ready again for the deployment they had in 97.
Mm-hmm.
They were going on another deployment in the end of 97. So,
Okay.
I got off in July before they went on their other deployments.
So what made you decide to get out? Because it sounds like you liked it.
I loved it.
You smile every time you talk about it.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I wouldn't change anything. I was going to. I thought I would re-enlist. They had offered $30,000 when we were in the Gulf, tax-free. But at the time, they were introducing women into combat roles, so they had taken away our seashore rotation.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't going to be able to go to be an instructor or a recruiter. You'd have to stay. Any time that you signed for would have to be at sea or at the fleet.
Right.
So I had talked to my chief and had said, hey, if you make me E6, I'll take the test, make me E6, I'll sign for what you want, and I'll stay on the Enterprise for as long as you need me. But they wouldn't do that. So I decided that it was just time to go. I just didn't want to go through that transition of women in combat roles, because there are a lot of horror stories.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to get caught up in anything like that.
Yeah. There's probably a period of time where it was just weird.
Yeah. It was difficult. So.
Yeah. Any transition is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you decide to get out. It doesn't sound like it was an easy decision, but
no, it wasn't easy. But once I made the decision, from there it was easy. The transition was they had a transition assistance, so when it was in port, I went to that. But it really wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be. I knew I was ready. I made my decision, so now it was time to move on and refocus. So.
How did it feel to put that uniform on for the last time?
Well, that was interesting, because the last day that I was on the ship, they were giving out the deployment medals, and I had been put in for a Navy Achievement Medal, and I was awarded that. And on the same day after the ceremony, I shook hands with everybody and walked off the ship. That was it.
That is kind of strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so you're walking on the pier the last time and you look back and that's it.
Yeah, that was it. I said goodbye.
Yeah.
Got in the car, drove home, and Heidi and I packed everything up, and we were out in 2 or 3 days. So.
So what was it like coming back to Michigan and not being in the Navy anymore?
I was bored.
Yeah.
So I went to the unemployment office, and they told me I had 54 weeks of unemployment, and I couldn't believe they were going to give me a year off, and I couldn't do that. And I lasted about 9 weeks, and I applied to a company that I'm at still, Simplex Time Recorder Company, and they were looking for someone with electronics background that could work on fire alarm systems. And I applied, and my interview, kind of like this, was with a former fire controlman. Worked on Mark 91.
Did you guys talk much about the job, or did you just swap sea stories?
It was the sea stories, hour-long sea stories, where he's been, where I've been, the ships and all that stuff, and duty and everything like that. He did the same kind of thing, 6 years. He was in about the same time I think you were, in the 80s.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The good old days.
Yeah.
So no trouble getting that position then?
No. It was, I think I got the job within 4 days. I had the first interview with him, and then 2 days later I had another interview, and I was hired 2 days later.
So it's interesting to me because, a lot of marriages don't survive the military, especially the Navy. And then, most people that get out of the service, they take that first job and then they leave within that first year, like a pretty big percentage. But you've kind of beat the odds on both of those. Why do you think that is? What is it about you?
I don't know. I think I've just been very fortunate that I've been happy with the decisions that I've made.
Mm-hmm.
So it was tough to decide to get out, but when I did, I could see that it was going to be, I would be okay. It'd be fine. I don't know. Heidi and I I think we just meant for each other.
Right. Right.
So it just works. And she's, been on board with everything, every
Mm-hmm.
decision that was made. So there was never really any issue with any of that. And then getting this job, as a technician, it was just perfect. That I had the skill set and I was willing to learn new stuff and I really enjoyed what I was doing. And they gave me a car and a computer and a phone and a pager and sent me to school, gave me, money for boot, all kinds. And I thought, where else am I going to go that's going to pay me this
Right.
and give me this stuff?
Right. Unless you go back in the military.
Right.
Right.
So, and they gave me the guy that I interviewed with said he knew, he's like, well, I'm going to give you what you got and just tell me what you were making when you got out of the service and I'll match it. So he did. And then he said, you'll have a review in 90 days. And if you're on board with that, if you're doing then you'll get another raise. So I just grabbed the bull by the horns and ran with it and loved it. So did everything I could.
How do you say no to that?
Yeah.
So now you and Heidi have kids?
We have 2 kids.
Okay.
Our oldest son's named Ethan. He'll be 25 in September, and he is he's a mechanic for Chrysler. But what is it? He does it. He gets. Can't remember what it's called. He's not an hourly type thing. It's what? Flat rate. So he gets paid per job.
Okay.
So he does really good at that.
Yeah.
He does really, really good. Makes more money than I do.
Good for him. That's what we want for our kids.
25
right?
years old, and he's building a house in Howard City right now. So.
Nice. Good for
But yeah,
him.
so he's doing real well. And then our youngest son, who will be 24 in December, he just graduated from Davenport, and today he just got his new job at Brunswick Corporation. So he's a bowler like I am, and he bowled for Davenport, and now he's going to be in the company that he wanted to be in. So,
That's just incredible.
just awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And now, so bowling's in your family.
oh
then,
yeah,
it
my
sounds like.
dad bowled,
Uh-huh.
my brother and myself. Yeah. So yeah, it just runs in the blood.
Yeah. 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 I remember watching the pros again when I was a kid. So that was all very cool.
Every Saturday.
Yep. Big time wrestling and then the professional bowlers.
Oh yeah.
The Pro Bowler Tour, I think is what it's called or something.
Professional bowlers tour. Yeah.
Yeah. That was very cool.
Yeah.
So we've covered a lot, in the 2 times that I've interviewed you now. And so I'm going to ask you that question again. So really the final question is, for someone listening to this 100 years from now when neither one of us is here, what would you like them to take away from this story?
Well, I've always said that I've always thought that young kids 18 years old, they really should experience some sort of service, military, or gives them a better perspective on life, discipline, and you get to see, if you join the Navy, you get to see the world.
Yeah.
4 years of your life is not a long time if you want to do it like that. So you'd be better off for doing that, and then I don't know, just find what you like and go with it. I guess I've been real fortunate in that. Everything, the decisions I made and the job that I had, I liked them both. I've had essentially 2 jobs since high school.
Yeah.
I love them both. So.
Chosen wisely.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. Well, thanks for sitting here with me most of the afternoon now and sharing your story with all of us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Yeah.
Right.
We could talk for hours, I tell you.
Oh, I know we could.
I got tons
I know you
tons
do.
of things I've seen. Yeah. I will say this, that anyone that ever asks me about joining the military, that I always tell them the Navy is always, to me, the best way to go.
Mm-hmm.
There's really no other place that has as many jobs they offer and the skills that you can learn and places you can go. I mean, that's the biggest thing. You always see the world. So.
It's true.
Oh yeah, 26 different countries before I was 24 years old. So.
Yeah.
Not many people can say that.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So, no, it was fun. It was great. I wouldn't change anything.
Good.
So.
All right. Now I'm going to turn it off on purpose. Thank you for listening to the Veterans Archives podcast and for helping us honor the service and sacrifice of our nation's veterans. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider sharing it with others so more people can hear these important stories. To learn more about our mission, watch additional veteran interviews, or find out how to record a veteran story, please visit veteransarchives.org. And if you or a veteran you know needs support or resources, we encourage you to download the Battle Buddy app from vetlifetoday.org. You can also hear Veterans Archives on Wreaths Across America Radio every Thursday at 5 p.m.